We're recording now. Elijah, allowed to talk. Hello, Elijah, are you on?
Hey, it's actually David.
Hey, David.
Hey, Tanya.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
You guys,
Fantastic.
you guys talk amongst yourselves while I figure out how to go back on Facebook. Okay, go.
What's going on, David?
Oh my God, the kids are driving me freaking nuts, Tanya.
Oh, really? I bet, huh? They
Oh my
can't go
God.
to school, so they're with you all day.
Yes, they're like going nuts. 11 and 13, two preteens in the house. Oh my God.
Well, I gotta hand it to you. I got two little monsters myself, my dogs, but they're
Right.
not nearly as dependent or as inquisitive as preteens are.
Oh my God. And they're eating me out of house and home. Literally, the minute we bring it in, it's like gone. I'm like, guys, stop eating.
Well, mine are eating pretty well the same, but you know, they're really good. They're keeping us company.
Oh, good.
Because we really haven't been out much. You know, you can't go to a restaurant.
I know.
All our food delivered, and so, you know.
Yeah. I've been cooking like every meal. I finally just ordered sushi last night. I'm like, I cannot cook anymore, guys. I'm done. It's like I can't think of things to cook because we don't cook at home that much. We eat out a lot. We run out of recipes.
Yeah. We've been ordering in fully cooked meals too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, it's a trip, man. It's really, really wild, I gotta say. And Trump thinks he's gonna open it up by Easter again, so maybe it will happen.
Who knows? I'm supposed to be going to Cabo on the 20th, I think, but I don't know. We'll see. I doubt it.
On the 20th of April?
Yeah.
Oh, you think so?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think they're still going to be really warning you about getting on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Like I see all those people on the subways and think, oh my God, you know, they're really, really close. And they hold the handles and stuff.
Right?
And, you know,
Crazy.
That's not so good.
David, do you have a camera on?
I don't know how to turn it on. How do I turn it on?
I'm going to put you up to see if it's on. Hold on.
Okay.
It's going to take a second because it has to bring him in as a panelist.
Okay.
And you're back on. I think I have to bring you in as an attendee. So we're going to bring you in as an attendee, and that will bring your camera up. Well, maybe that's not. Maybe that just pushed you out over there. No, panelist. Sorry, you're my guinea pig on this one. Okay, allow to talk. Unmute. Can you talk?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. On the bottom of your screen is on the left-hand side, is there a video? If you roll your cursor over, can you hit it on?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, why are you back as attendee?
I know.
Hold on.
Okay.
Promote. You're rejoining. Oh, for the love of God. Oh, why does he keep putting you back as an attendee? That's weird.
Let's see. Okay.
Now you should be able to turn your camera on.
Okay, let's see.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody in Facebook land. I'm sorry, we're having technical difficulties. You know, this is our first time doing it. Tanya's here. The puppies are behind her. I'm here. Lance is behind with that hand. He's kind of like Charlie. We're back live on Facebook. Yay! So Tanya.
Hey.
What are you up to? What
am I up to?
Yeah, how tall are you now?
Very good, Michael. I've shrunk, I think.
You shrunk. Why?
Yeah, I've shrunk being in the house all this time. No, not really. But the social distancing is a bit of a tough thing for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm better safe than sorry, you know what I mean?
Exactly. You have to. You have to do that. David, you have another question? I have your microphone back on, but I'm sorry? Oh, I think he's
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Do you want to try your,
Okay.
you might be able to put it on your camera now. You should be able to put it on your camera now.
Let's see.
Everybody, this is amazing coronavirus technology happening right now. Okay, it is.
Yeah.
You're watching it live on Facebook. If you have any questions for Tanya, put it in the link below or beside or below where the comments are, and we'll.
How do I make the camera work right there?
Thank goodness.
Okay, I got the expert here showing me how to.
Go back to the thing.
Okay.
To the video.
It should be on the bottom left-hand side.
Can you go out, please? I'm on live. Please go out. Can you please go out? Okay.
He's on a call with Tanya Roberts.
Okay, can you show me how to?
Yeah.
Elijah's going to show me how to do the video here. Let's see.
All right.
Oh, great. It's always good to have a kid around for those technical.
Exactly, right? It says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
What? I did? How rude. How rude. Now we have some, I'm bringing somebody else in to talk. Hello, Andre? I'm going to open.
Andre?
I'm going to move him to a panelist. And he should be able to talk now.
Hi.
Hey, Tanya, did you get some eyeshadows in the mail from Patrick?
From Patrick, did I?
Yes.
I did, yes.
Oh,
I
perfect.
got
Okay.
From,
Perfect.
It's from Farah?
Oh, I wonder why. He
Yeah.
created was there a Farrah lipstick in it, maybe?
Maybe that's what it was.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I had Patrick send you some eyeshadows.
Oh, cool, thanks.
Yeah, you bet.
Do.
Thank you.
Why won't it unmute? Unmute all. What's that? Oh, Andre, do you have your microphone on? I'm trying to bring you in on the conversation, but I can't turn your microphone on. Okay, great. This is going wonderfully today.
It's the first time, but that's the best time, right?
It is the first time, and we were bumped off of Facebook again. So we're gonna just have to, we'll do a short little video in a second and say, hey, we were on, and I'll go live again and see what we can do. That's all there is to it. It's the first time, people. It's the first time. What can we do? So Did David go off? Are you on? Are you still there, David? Did I turn you
Yeah,
off?
we're still here. We just can't start the video. It says the host is not allowing you to start.
All right. So that might be something on my end, obviously, and I don't seem to be able to understand how to. I can unmute everybody, but I can't.
Hey, baby.
I can't open up your. Change, remove, make a host. I don't know how to do that. Okay. Just cheers. At least I have some wine. Tanya, you having a drink?
No, I'm drinking lemonade.
Oh, that's so good for you.
All right, Tanya, one of the questions we had was,
Okay.
what was some of the fun and fond memories you had of filming in Hawaii on season 5?
Oh, God. There were so many incredible times. First of all, that was my first year shooting the show. And so everything was so brand new to me. And I had this hotel room that was massive. It was great, with this gigantic bathtub, jacuzzi bath that I used to say sleeps 5 because it was that big. It was huge. And we just had a lot of fun with all the people watching the show as we were shooting it. And we did a scene with the dune buggy, with us chasing guys and us driving a dune buggy, which was really fun. And one thing that happened was I was supposed to get in this car that was supposed to stop at the sidewalk and pick me up, right? And so I was standing by the sidewalk waving for it to pick me up, and I got in the wrong car.
Oh no.
So I got in someone else's car who had nothing to do with the show.
Oh my God, how funny.
Yeah, that was really weird.
And did they know who you were at that time?
Huh?
Did they know who you were, the person that you got in the car
They
with?
didn't know because it was like I don't know, but they knew there was filming going on. Maybe they didn't.
Right.
But they let me out. That was nice.
Oh my God, how funny. I was just in Hawaii in January and we went to the house that you guys used as the Townsend agency.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Wow.
Super cool. Yeah, it was fun.
Which island was that on? Hawaii?
Oahu.
Yeah, Oahu. That's what I thought. Yeah. Oh, great. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, we took a lot of pictures. It was fun.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had some questions, Tanya.
Yeah.
How was it modeling? I know you did modeling and starting out in modeling. How was being a model?
Actually, I started doing commercials on television. And I just got an agent and started doing commercials. And then I got into modeling after that. And it was great. You know, the lighting was off the tanks. It's always great when you're modeling. And it was fun to work with a lot of the other girls. And I traveled to Italy and I traveled to Switzerland, and I traveled to where was it? Somewhere in Mexico. I'm not sure where it was. And a lot of stops I made, you know, a lot of trips I made to different places. And so that was great. You really get to see the world when you're a model. You really do. But you got to watch your weight, so no drinking. Michael.
No drinking. That's horrible. Steve on Facebook asked, what was it like working with Vic Morrow on Charlie's Angels?
Oh, it was so great. He was such a consummate actor. He was fantastic to work with. He was just so great and had such a great sense of humor. And we had a death scene to do where he died, actually, at the end. And he was just incredible. And he was so good that he actually made me cry real tears. And it was just terrific. He's such a good actor. He was such a good actor. It was great working with him. They had a lot of great guest stars on Charlie's Angels, which, you know, I guess all our successful hour shows do. But it was great to work with all the different people who came on the show. It was really a lot of fun. And you learned a lot too, because that was my first real introduction to show business. So I had a lot to learn.
Great. Bill on Zoom says, any fun memories from View to a Kill?
From what?
View to a Kill?
Oh, View to a Kill. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. There were lots of great memories on that. We actually traveled all over the place too for that movie. We shot in London, in San Francisco, in north of San Francisco, and where else did we shoot? At the big studios in London, and by the beach, and I can't remember the name of the beach, but it was gorgeous. We had a little cabin and it was so beautiful. It was great shooting there, and Roger Moore was a terrific guy to work with. He was always had a joke to tell. He was always so up and animated. He was really fun to work with. That was a really fun project. And the sets that they made for the inside of the mine were just gigantic. They took up the whole studio. You wouldn't believe it. We actually had a mine car, you know, those little cars on wheels, and we would get in it and zoom to the end. And it was something. It was a really big production, and I had certainly never been in anything like that before. So that was great. It was great.
Oh, great.
And I got to drive a fire engine.
That's true. And how was it being on top of the, you know?
Oh, well, that wasn't real. That was green screen. But no, they wouldn't let us get on top of Golden Gate Bridge, I don't think, Mike.
Wow.
But anyway, we did green screen, and we also did some green screen with the Zeppelin.
Okay.
And we worked in a Zeppelin too.
Nice.
So it was a lot of fun, a lot of unusual things. And we also went to a prince's place in Chantilly, that's where it was, Chantilly, Paris, who had these places for the horses to stay in the stables that were so gorgeous. They were all oak paneled and painted beautifully and carved. And I swear, they said, the rumor was that he thought he was coming back as a horse. Well, if he was, it was a first-class horse, because these horses had some digs, man. They were great.
Right.
And the horses themselves were beautiful.
Charles on Facebook asked, was there ever any talk about a sequel to Sheena? And he said, you were so great as Sheena.
Yeah, there was talk about it, but it never came to fruition, but there was. And that was another incredible, I was so lucky that I got to travel so much in the films I worked on. We shot that all in Africa, in Kenya. And we brought all our own wild animals with us, leopards, tigers, lions, a white rhino, and baby elephant, a big elephant. What else did we bring? Giant hawks, and it was and a lot of chimpanzees. And one funny story is I was riding with a chimpanzee on the back of this zebra, which wasn't really a zebra. It was a Arab horse painted to look like a zebra. And I sat on his foot by accident. And the little thing bit me in the back. It was really weird, but it was so much fun working with those animals. It was great. It was great. We had a terrific team of wranglers, and that was a really fun movie to shoot too.
Oh, great. Danny says, hello, Tanya. Love from Argentina. Danny from Argentina says hello.
Hi, how you doing?
There was a question about, do you stay in touch with Cheryl Ladd and Jacqueline Smith by Richard?
Yeah, I still see Jacqueline every now and again, and Cheryl once in a while. I did her golf tournament down in south of here, and she's a really good golfer. And so I see them on occasion, but I don't see them all that much. It's been a long time, and you know, it's always, I think, the friends you have from way back when are the friends you stay with mostly. But yeah, I see them every now and again. I ran into Jacqueline Smith at the Design Center, And it was really a surprise and great to see her. They were both terrific, and they treated me with such welcome arms. They were so welcoming to me. I didn't feel like the new girl at all, you know? It was great.
No, but they love putting you in the bikinis on the TV show Charlie's Angels.
They said to me when I walked on, finally, Tanya, we don't have to wear bikinis anymore. You can wear all the bikinis. They thought it was really chauvinistic that they were in bikinis. I guess it's true. But anyway, I went to a bikini store in Beverly Hills and picked out like 40 bikinis that I was going to wear in the show. And I wore them.
Wow. Did you get to keep any of them?
Hmm?
Did you keep any of them?
I didn't keep any of them. No, I was really good that way.
No.
I didn't ask for take-homes.
Jennifer asked, if you never got into acting or modeling, what would your dream career have been?
Oh, God. Oh, you know, something to do with animals. I think a vet. I would have, but my grades in mathematics and science were really bad. But I love animals. I love them to death. And I think I would have loved to help animals. And so being a vet would have been a perfect job for me if I hadn't gone into acting. But like I said, my grades weren't great in the sciences, so I never had a chance to do that. But those people are real heroes to me.
Excellent. Stephanie Lynn Schmidt, I believe, says, I love you as, I'm not going to be able to say her name, in Mike Hammer. It was fun working with Stacy Keach.
Oh, yeah, he was fantastic. He was great to work with. He's a stage actor, and so he really taught me a lot of tricks of the trade. He was great to work with, really funny and just a really, really fine actor. And I would have done the series, but I got Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and so I ended up taking Sheena instead. But that was a fun show to shoot. And it was a great detective show, and those are always really fun to do.
Nice. Jeff Barr on Facebook asked, how it felt to ride on top of that station wagon in episode 2 of Charlie's Angels.
Well, I was surprised. They didn't tell me until I had to get up on it. They always leave the best till the last. And so I just hung on to the hood and off we went. But we weren't going that fast. It was just, you know, for camera. So we were going around a parking lot, you know, the inside of a parking lot, but it wasn't going 60 miles an hour or anything like that. But that was a lot of fun. That was cool.
Nice. Jeffrey Billiard, I'm sorry, I'm probably saying the name wrong, asked, what is your favorite episode of That 70s Show?
God, this my favorite episode. I think it was the one where we all dressed in the American flag. For some reason, it was really funny to be a piece of the flag, and every character in the show is part of a piece of the flag. And that was fun. Also, I had a lot of fun working on the Charlie's Angels episode. No, it wasn't a Charlie's. Yeah, it was. It was a Charlie's Angels episode. And then they had another Bond Girl episode in which they used 2 ex-Bond women for. And that was really interesting and cool to work on too.
Nice. Jennifer also said, I love the 2-part Vegas episode you were in. How different do you think your life would have been if that backdoor pilot would become a series?
If which one?
Your Vegas guest star with when you were supposed to be
Oh, yeah, with Michelle Phillips.
Correct.
God, it would have been really different because I would have been signed on to a series, which would have completely wiped out the pictures I was just talking about because it probably would have gone for 5 years. They usually do. Charlie's Angels did. That was usually about how long our shows ran in those days. But, you know, I'm not a gambler at all. So Michelle Phillips was down there gambling and spending her money and gambling and spending her money. And I'd just go home after a hard day's work. I'd have sushi at the sushi bar And then I'd go home and go to sleep and get up the next morning early. But she really, I think she made some money gambling, believe it or not. Blackjack.
Well, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
On set, and you get to go make some money down in the slot machines.
Yeah, and have some fun.
Nice, nice. Adrian Rowe asked, any funny stories from working with Mark Singer in Beastmaster? He seems like a funny guy.
Yeah, I just saw Mark, as a matter of fact, a few weeks ago, and he's just in the same outrageous shape as he was then. The funny story there was that we had a big, giant tiger, an older tiger, but I mean, not decrepit or anything, but he was older and not so frisky. And he was painted black, and he would constantly step on my feet. So, you know, they're heavy tigers.
Oh, wow.
Very heavy and very long. So that was kind of funny because I always got stepped on. But also with Rip Torn, I had to swing this chain at him, right?
Yeah.
And so it was only a plastic chain painted to look like it was a chrome chain. And I flicked it at him and he went, Tanya, that hurts. And I couldn't believe it. He really said, no more of the whipping with the chain. It hurts too much. I don't know how or why, but it was cool.
Good for you to whip him into shape.
Yeah.
Whipping into shape on set. Shannon on Facebook asked, hi, Tanya, what was Aaron Spelling like?
Aaron Spelling was one of the best producers, aside from Cubby Broccoli, who I worked with on the Bond movie. He had, everything was so first class. First of all, the first year, he bought every one of the girls a Mercedes-Benz when the season ended,
Wow.
which I didn't get so lucky. I was in the 5th year. But he was great. Everything was first class. All the wardrobe, we could go wherever we wanted in Beverly Hills to buy the clothes we wore. We get to keep most of them or whatever we wanted, if we wanted to keep them. And he was just a pleasure, really great and really fun and really nice and really, you know, he really had my back on that because, like I said, that was the first thing that I really did. And he was right there with me and was really a hands-on producer. I really liked working with him.
Nice. John McCook on Facebook asked, what was your relationship with David Doyle like?
Oh, David was great. David was funny too. He was another one for gags. And one day we were all sitting out there and talking to David Doyle, and he bent over and pulled a moon on us.
He mooned you guys?
He mooned us. And there was a picture of us, all three of us with our mouths wide open laughing. It was so funny. He was great and taught me a lot also about acting. He was really good. He was terrific. And I mean, I was very young and I guess he took it for granted that he hadn't seen me around before. So it was probably one of my first jobs, and he was very supportive and wonderful to work with. He was a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
Nice. Linda Marie says, Tanya, you look absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
John Folse says, you still enjoy modeling?
Did I or do I?
Do, I think you do. Do you still?
I don't anymore, no. I liked modeling, but it was, you know, a lot of it's based on being perfect and looking perfect every minute. And that's hard for anyone to keep up with, especially when you've been doing movies where you can kind of let your hair down and be yourself a little bit. So, but when I was doing it, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I traveled a lot and I really enjoyed it. I had a good time being a model. I can't put it down like some people do, and you know, no, it was good.
No, and there's some gorgeous photos. I know that because I've scanned some of them.
Yeah, he stole a big box.
I didn't steal. I don't steal.
He gave it back. But he took a big box of mine with all my old modeling pictures in it and everything.
They're stunning.
And, that's how he scanned them.
They're stunning. And we're going to have to go through some so we can post some of those images, because there's one that is out of control gorgeous. Most of them are
gorgeous. What a guy.
But then what I didn't know when I was doing that, when you loaned me that box, that you had covers in New York. You were on New York, was it New York Times cover?
What's that?
New York Magazine cover, I think.
Oh yeah, that's when they, believe it or not, this is how long ago that was. That's when they had to start frisking you at the airport.
That's it.
And it was, can you imagine how long ago that was? And we had to be frisked, and they had a picture of me with my eyes wide open and my hands up in the air, and some guy was holding my hips in a line of passengers. And that was the first time they had ever frisked you before you went on a plane. They didn't used to do that, believe it or not. Now you have to have a driver's license with a star on it to travel, you know? So that was really new, and that made news, and that's why it was on the cover of New York Magazine.
I know. You looked amazing on it. Let's see. Mike Moss asks, in A View to a Kill was a classic. What was it like working with Grace Jones?
Oh, Grace Jones is one of the sweetest people. I just saw her a few months ago. One of the sweetest people, and you just wouldn't believe, because she looks so strong and almost like unearthly, but she is such a groove. She was great. She was really friendly. She had a few parties while we were there in London shooting. They got her a nice house, and her mother was there with her, and she was great. She had a great wardrobe by Azzedine Alaya, who was really big at the time, and everything was leather, like, you know, whips. Not that she had the whips, but it looked like that with the high leather boots and the skin tight mini skirts and leather. And she really fulfilled the part, man. She did. She was right there.
Yeah. Monk said, one of my favorite actresses you are. Well, Monk says you're one of his favorite actresses.
Oh, thank you.
I'm reading these as they come in. Steve said, you look gorgeous in your gold and copper metallic lime in Charlie's Angels. I don't know what that is. Gold and copper metallic lame in Charlie's Angels. I don't know what that, but you look gorgeous in it. That's all that matters.
Oh, yeah, right. He's not superficial. I think it was a sweater or something.
It could have been.
But I think it was, I don't know. I think that's what he's talking about, but thank you.
Did you have a lot to say about what you wore on Angels?
Yeah, like I said, they would take us down to Beverly Hills and let us go shopping and buy whatever we wanted, which is completely unheard of on a television show. Yeah. I mean, I've never heard of it before or since. And we could just buy whatever we wanted and wear whatever we wanted. And so we got to have great fashion sometimes. And, you know, other times we'd be doing period pieces and things like, we did a Robin Hood bit. So we'd have to just up in that era. And it was great. It was really fun and great that they let us pick out our clothes, because you always feel really more comfortable in something you're comfortable in rather than something that they just hand you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Jeffrey asked, what are your hobbies?
My hobbies are koi fish. I built a beautiful koi river outside of my backyard, and it holds a ton of water. It's like a swimming pool almost. And I grew the fish from this size till they're like this big now. And that's one of my hobbies. And hiking is one of my hobbies too. And I'm a skier, but my boyfriend doesn't ski, so I gave that one up. And I am also a golfer. I golfed for a lot of years before I gave that up because my boyfriend doesn't play golf. So it's kind of hard for a 5-hour round to do it when you're the only one who doesn't have a mate with them. But those are my hobbies, basically.
Excellent. Stephen asks, I remember seeing you in Night Eyes at Cinemax. Do you ever keep in touch with Andrew Stevens?
With who?
Andrew Stevens.
I only ran into him a couple of times at a few parties, but no, we didn't keep in touch much for some reason. We didn't become close friends after doing that. But, you know, whenever I'd see him, it was always, you know, hugs and kisses. But we didn't stay in touch that much.
Well, good. I mean, Jim said, was Roger Moore a prankster on the set as I read? Did he play a prank on you?
Did he play a prank on me? No, he didn't pull a prank on me. Oh yeah, when we were in the elevator, he was supposed to grab my hand when the elevator was on fire, and he was supposed to grab my hand to give me a lift up. Now there was a real fire there, but it was like this big and we were on the periphery around it. And he deliberately kept putting his hand down lower and I'm higher, so I couldn't grab it. So I was screaming, James, James. And I really meant it because he wasn't giving me a hand, but it was hot inside there. It was hot. But the greatest, oh, I don't know if I can say this. This is, yeah, this is a little R-rated. Can I say something R-rated?
I don't know why not.
Okay, well.
I will do it. Do it.
Okay, the biggest riot on that set was when there was a nude scene between Grace Jones and Roger Moore. And she had to slip into bed naked, right, like all the women do, but you don't see a lot in those movies. They're pretty PG. Anyway, she slipped into bed wearing a big dildo. And he was just like freaked because he was a little macho. I don't know how he took it, but the rest of us roared. It was funny.
Oh no! Oh, that's hysterical. That's a good story. That's a good story. Talking about Adrian says, "Hello, Tanya. I am here on behalf of the James Bond Brazil community. I think you're a sex symbol of the great blondes of the 80s and 90s. One of the movies you've done I liked the most is Night Eyes. Did you like working?
Night Eyes, really? Cool. That was a fun movie to do, and that was a good movie because there was a lot of suspense in it. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to do, and we were working in a really beautiful, beautiful house. So the locations were great. The location, we basically shot the whole thing in one house, was beautiful, and so the surroundings were really nice, and I'm glad you liked it. I had fun doing it.
Wendy says, I love you to pieces, Tanya.
Oh, thank you, Wendy.
Let's see. Stephanie asks, you're the only woman who looks beautiful as a blonde, brunette, and redhead. Which one do you prefer?
Oh, God, that's sweet of you. You know, I liked being a redhead a lot. And I also like being a blonde, I guess, and a brunette. I think they were all about equal for me. I didn't prefer any one. It was just a film. Like the one that I was a brunette for was the one with Stacy Keach. And so they put on a temporary color that I wore, and then it washed out after about 2 weeks. And that was a little new to me because I had never been that dark before. But I liked being all three colors, yeah. I would have tried purple if it was around, but it wasn't around back then.
Well, maybe next time we go live, you can do purple. Tanya, Lynn asks, where did you study or get all of your acting skills?
I went to, God, what's the name of it? I can't think of it anymore. I can't think of the name of the school I went to.
Is it the Academy of New York or?
No, but it was down in the village. And, you know, I can't think of the name of it. I took speech classes there because I had a really bad New York accent, which I picked up living there because I had grown up there, and then I moved to Canada, and then I moved back, and I picked up this really thick New York accent. And so I know I had to take a lot of speech lessons, and that was the same place where I acted. But I can't remember the name of it for some reason.
Well, they taught you well, so that's all that matters.
Oh, what a guy, what a guy.
Bonnie asks, hi, Tanya, which was more physically demanding, Sheena or the Beastmaster? Love from New Jersey.
Oh, I love New Jersey. Definitely Sheena, because I had to learn how to swing from one vine and grab hold of the other, which didn't happen too often because it was so hard to do. You have to have tremendous upper body strength to do that, like Johnny Weissmuller did. And so that was, and I also had to ride the Arabs that were painted like zebras.
Mm-hmm.
I had to ride them across a desert with beasts and wildebeests, and they go in herds of 100,000. I mean, there's like incredible amount of dust in my face, and I was going bareback. So that was really a challenge to me, even though I had been riding since I was a kid. It was riding right next to all those storming wildebeests and hartebeests was something else. It was really physically demanding that role more than anything, I think. I had to work out with weights and all that, so I looked like I was Sheena going into the jungle, and you know.
And you were.
And I was.
You were. That's where you were. Let's see. Bond and Beyond asks, what's your favorite scene to shoot in A View to a Kill, and which is your favorite scene overall, if you have?
My favorite scene in A View to a Kill was driving the fire engine. That was so off the walls fun. That was a great, great scene. And I just loved it. It was like the biggest steering wheel you ever saw in your life. And that was quite an experience. And my favorite scene in all the movies that I've done, God, I don't know if I have a favorite scene. I'm trying to think if I have a favorite scene. Maybe the being up in the Zeppelin was a great scene. Mm-hmm. It was a really great scene. And another movie that I did was called Tourist Trap. And the best scene in that was when I got knifed in the back of the neck. Just because I had never done any special effects like that before. And so I was a little worried about it, even though the knife was rubber. I was still a little worried about it.
Of course.
But they had it on this fine wire, and the guy would flick the wire at one end, and it would go rolling right down into the back of my neck. And that was an experience. That was an experience.
That sounds like it.
Actress dies on set, right?
Well, thank goodness you did.
Made it.
You made it. You did. Lynn asked, before the virus, you were scheduled to be at the Chiller Theater. I heard that it was canceled. Is that really true? And Lynn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really true. As a matter of fact, it's weird that you should say that, because way before it was canceled, the virus came out here in February. I guess it was February. It was the end of February, yeah. We hear about it. And I said, I'm not going to New York. I'm just not going to New York with all those people on the plane. I'll catch, who knows what I'll catch. And the people there just kept saying, "Oh no, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Everything's cool." And then all of a sudden, I heard that it was canceled.
Yeah, and it has been
nobody was flying at that point.
Yeah.
Nobody.
it's been rescheduled,
And
but
they're
that's still
still
pending.
empty, all the planes.
It's been rescheduled, but I don't know if that's in stone yet. It's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. If they do, they'll probably reschedule it just to make it next year, or maybe they'll do it this summer, later this summer.
Yeah. They have a
Those
date.
are fun shows to do.
Yeah, there's a date, but I mean, I think it's too early for anything to nail down yet. So
Yeah.
let's see. Let's do a couple more questions. Oh, you just answered a question about Tourist Trap. You just did that. Someone said, I like the movie Tourist Trap. And someone asked, why didn't you continue your sexy role in Mike Hammer?
What did I what?
Why you didn't continue in Mike Hammer with your role?
You know, I would have done it, and I really liked working with Stacy. But the thing is, Sheena came along, and I just couldn't resist it. The part was so great, and the script was so great, written by David Newman, who eventually didn't write it. Someone else took over the job. And so I didn't like the script as much as when he had written it. But he was, it was just such a temptation to do, and to go to Africa for all those months and work with all the animals, because I'm an animal lover, and that's really the reason. Otherwise, it would, and I went away for 6 months in Kenya, and I would have otherwise been here in LA. And not that that's bad, LA is great, but it wouldn't have been nearly as exciting.
Yeah.
As doing Sheena.
That is true. That is true. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. How was that, Tanya? How was your first live Facebook?
Cool.
Did you enjoy? I think it was good. There was a couple hiccups in the beginning, but you know, it's our first. It was
our first time. You got to forgive us.
Yeah, it's our first time. This first time. And hey, guys, Tanya is also doing. She's working this travel buddy company, and they're offering $500. It's going to be a gift certificates. We're going to post it on the Facebook page. All of you here, it's a free gift certificate, 30 to 70% off of your upcoming trips. I know right now we can't go anywhere because most of us are sheltered in place,
yeah.
But it's transferable, and it doesn't have it doesn't expire. So grab it.
Yeah, you can use it this year, next year, the year after.
Right. So we're going to put that on the Facebook page so you can use that. And yeah, do that. And Tanya, thank you for a fun afternoon.
Thank you, Mike. It was great being here.
So we should do this
Not
again.
with you, but being here in my house alone.
Right?
What else is new, right?
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Tanya. You be safe.
Sure.
Everybody out there, be safe. And
bye, guys.
Be
safe. Be careful.
Absolutely. Okay. We're gonna try to turn this off now too. Hold on a second.